Okay, so here's part 4 of the Sorcerer's Apprentice review. Um, they run down to the park. Big, of course, classic final confrontation. Uh, Balthazar goes there alone at first because he assumes, Dave doesn't have his ring. He hasn't shown this full ability yet, so he's kind of useless. Uh, at this point, Dave's now girlfriend. It's that's the whole subplot is, all right, am I your girlfriend yet, or am I not your girlfriend or boyfriend yet? Uh, at that point, pretty much is. He goes. Actually, yeah, it's funny. At this point, Dave is now so used to being with Balthazar that it's an evolution of the character. Balthazar just kind of jumps up on a ledge and starts talking about how he's going to run off, and he just jumps off, and Dave's like, he just does that all the time. Because, of course, the giant metal eagle catches him, and the girl's just like, what? And, of course, showing the evolution of Dave's character. He has now become part of this magical world. He's used to it. But then he gets the ideal that, again, going back to you showing science and magic work okay together. There's no question. He goes, oh, Balthazar's magic rings make him a great conductor. So he goes and he has this Tesla coil that he's been working on. He straps it to the front of a car and decides to run down and help. Sends his girlfriend up to. The way this ceremony works is they bounce fire that no other but only magic users can see this fire, which is kind of explaining why no one else in New York is freaking out and the cops aren't, flooding Battery Park. They're bouncing off satellite dishes. Again, they're using magic is using science without any question about it. It's not like, oh, we can use this fascinating satellite dishes. No, as soon as Horvath sees, he's like, yeah, we can use satellite dishes to bounce around the magical energies. It'll work. That's why I love this. I continually love this theme of magic and science working together, no problem. Anyway, he sends her into one of the buildings to move one of the satellite dishes, so it'll disrupt the entire spell. But meanwhile, he goes. Balthazar basically gets defeated. Looks like he's gonna get killed by the bull that Horvath turns to life. But Dave comes, saves, he flips on his energy source, or his Tesla coil, I should say, shocks the hell out of Horvath, gets knocked out, and then confronts, at that point, Morgoth emerges, she's already been emerging, she's been doing this spell the entire time, she has to concentrate to complete this circle. The circle is disrupted when the girlfriend moves the satellite dish, and so she then confronts Dave. And Dave, of course, finally summons his power. For he is the one, the Kwisatz Haderach. I love the Dune reference there, but it's not in the movie. They should have made that reference, though. He's able to summon his powers without any ring to siphon him, and it also throws back to Fantasia because he winds up all his bolts. Morgoth, or Morgana, I should say, keep on calling him Morgoth, is kind of these dusty particles. So everything kind of goes right through her, but what he winds up doing is he shoots and turns this energy transformer building, makes it alive, and we see like the little mops inside start dancing again, once again calling back to Fantasia, and he pulls the coils inside also come alive and start wrapping around slowly all the lampposts and stuff around there, and she doesn't notice, and once again he turns it into a giant Tesla coil. The Tesla coil is like this, I guess it's some sort of, I'm not exactly sure if the Tesla coil itself means anything, or the Tesla represents anything other than the motif of the Tesla coil throughout the entire film, mainly because Tesla coils always have actually been considered on that freaky side of science. If you throw back the old 50s movies, they were always using like Tesla coils to create Frankenstein monsters and such. So the Tesla coil is kind of symbolic of this whole of the mysticism and science mixing together with no quarrels between the two. Anyway, he makes testicles, shocks the hell out of her, and then basically machine guns plasma bolts on her and wins. he winds up also basically using magic CPR. Again, mixing science and magic. He's like literally doing CPR, but he's like charging his hands and doing it. Brings back Balthazar, and Balthazar's the third female apprentice, who was Balthazar. I forget her name. That's not too important right now. Veronica was her name. Resurrects, and now she's been there because she's separated out of Morgana. Morgana pulled out of her. Balthazar pulled her out of Veronica into himself, and then Morgana pulled herself out of Balthazar, and that kind of killed him some way. But he's resurrected. The girl says, you're my boyfriend, or she's his girlfriend. Forget the exact line. And he winds up taking her to Paris on the giant flying metal eagle. And that's pretty much the film. Like I said, it's a very... I'm not over enthusiastic about the movie like I was with Predators and Inception. But I don't dislike it. It's not like Avatar, not Avatar, the Last Airbender, which, re-looking at that review now, I basically was giving it a lot more credit than it deserved because it was not Twilight. It still wasn't as bad as people say, but it's not Last Airbender bad. Although the beginning was. So if you're gonna go see it, just keep in mind that the entire movie isn't like the beginning. They really cut. You could see that it was a much longer scene, and they just condensed it now into a third of what it originally was supposed to be, while still having to keep all the plot points in there. I gotta stop saying in these reviews. And I just did it again. Some future site news, since I got a few minutes here. I don't know if I'm going to be seeing Salt or not. If Salt looks... I'm not too enthused about seeing it. It's not really catching my eye. It looks like too much, hey, Angelina Jolie's in this, so you should see it. I don't go to see star vehicles unless the star has, that certain charm to it, like a Nicolas Cage, because Nicolas Cage will be crazy. So if it's a star vehicle for Nicolas Cage crazy, like Port of Call, New Orleans, if you've never seen that, I will go see that. But if it's just a standard star vehicle, I'm not too enthusiastic about it. I'll wait till some of the reviews are in. If everyone's saying it's really great, I might go see it. If everyone's saying it's like really horrible, I might go see it just to rant on a movie, because other than The Last Airbender, which I didn't rate that poorly, I haven't had a movie I really haven't. I just wanted to tear apart, shred it to pieces. So hopefully, hey, maybe Salt will suck and I can redo that. I know Comic-Con is this week, so you'll probably start seeing a lot of speculation videos as trailers are released. I think I'm going to be doing a Thor one, because they just released a few new photos for Thor, and I'll give some of my early thoughts for that. I also will probably try to do either a retro review of a game, because I know I've been planning on doing a couple game reviews, but I've never had the opportunity. Or I might try to do a retro review of somewhat of an older film, kind of a nostalgic flashback look. I've been planning on doing one of them, but I really haven't. The only videos I've really gotten to are current movie reviews and some speculation rant stuff. So hopefully we'll be expanding the categories of videos. Other than that, just again to re-summarize, if you haven't seen Inception, see Inception. If you have seen Inception and you're planning on going to the movies, go see Sorcerer's Apprentice. Or if you're stuck having to take your kids or a smaller brother or something along those lines, Inception, of course, being a very plot-driven movie that you have to follow, probably not the best for kids. So if you have to take kids with you, go see Sorcerer's Apprentice instead. Other than that, signing off.